And what I think is the most interesting matchup of the entire first round of the playoffs, and that is the second seed Boston Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets. $1.78 for the Celtics, $2.09 for the Nets. Which way do you see it?
The Boston Celtics in 6 games. I saw enough in that Cleveland game to think these Brooklyn Nets are not championship contenders. The game couldn't have started any better. Kyrie Irving didn't miss a shot until the fourth quarter. Durant is how he can just float effortlessly into a game. How complete he is as an NBA player is quite extraordinary. The team as a whole, the Brooklyn Nets, shot 53% from the field, 33 assists, 45 made field goals. Kyrie Irving, 34 points on 12 of 15 shooting. He's fasting with Ramadan at the moment, and he's got 34 points. He missed a shot. It's quite extraordinary. But then Nick Claxton and Andre Drummond got 29 points, 17 rebounds out of them. Bruce Brown, nearly a triple-double, and they needed all 42 minutes from each of their superstars to put away the Cleveland Cavaliers without one of their better players who were injury-ravaged. The Durant sat for 6 minutes and 9 points. Their lead completely vanished in the way. That does not sound like a championship contender to me. And then not versing the Boston Celtics at the start of the season, who were I couldn't recognise them, and now they're the number one defence. Jason Tatum has every possibility to jump to the superstar status with a bit deep playoff run there. Everything to me that I didn't want to see at the Brooklyn Nets is everything I did see at the game there. The matchups, I mean, we're gonna rely on Kyrie Irving and KD to play 40 plus minutes, combined for 60 points. That's your plan for the entire playoffs. Most other teams
60. I think they're gonna have to score 75 combined.
60 is generous.
I think they could score 60 combined and they'll still lose by 30.
It is deplorable defense. Something's off with Seth Curry. Maybe because I'm watching him at Philly.
Yeah, he's got an ankle injury.
Yeah, but it's just even the way they're using him. Yeah. At least Doc Rivers had him moving, trying to snake around and run through pin down screens and everything. He didn't move in the Brooklyn. Yeah. Maybe it's the injury, but the offense. You know how I feel about Steve Nash running an NBA team there. The fact that what I said to you before, the entire Cavs wing rotation had 16 points on 25 shots, and they only just snuck away. It was a 22-point lead at one point, and it completely vanished. It went down to the wire. Everything that I didn't want to see, and the Boston Celtics couldn't be better right now. The Time Lord injury, couldn't have been worse timing. I mean, he is the switch-heavy defense that they do. He's integral to that. But, mate, I remember I saw on Twitter the Brooklyn Nets fans were chanting, "We want Celtics, we want Celtics," and I was like, "No, you don't want the Celtics at all." They are firing right now, and I just have how many question marks and how many things I have to rely on for the Brooklyn Nets to do well I don't want to see that, mate. So I've got the Boston Celtics winning in 6 games. That Cleveland game must have scared you or showed you things you didn't want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gone even harder than you. I'm saying Celtics in 5.
Whoa.
I'm just paying $5.50. I don't... We did our power rankings the other week, and I had Brooklyn higher, but I continue to watch them, and it's a 2-man team. Okay, yeah, Nick Claxton might have put up numbers for you, Andre Drummond, but offensively, this is a 2-man team, and you're talking about a 2-man offense going up against the best defense in basketball that really has no holes. So you're talking about Kyrie's going to be guarded by Marcus Smart, who many believe is going to be the defensive player of the year this season.
True.
That's. I don't see Kyrie going off for 30 plus. They're probably going to. In order to win, he needs to score 30 plus, and I don't see him scoring 30 plus 4 times in this series against Marcus Smart. It's not happening. And KD, he's great. He's fantastic. He'll get his 30 plus. I don't have any worries about that. But at least the Celtics have guys that they can throw at him. Tatum can have a crack at KD. Jaylen Brown can have a crack at KD. Al Horford might have a crack at KD. Smart, if Kyrie's off the floor, might have a crack at KD. They have got Grant Williams might come off the bench and have a crack at KD. They have got 4 or 5 different guys they can just throw at Kevin Durant at different periods from game to game. And to me, I'll give them 1 in Brooklyn, no worries. But from what I saw from that Cleveland game, I don't understand how they expect to win this series. I am gobsmacked that they are paying It's nearly 50-50. And that is just putting... I love Kevin Durant. He might be the best player in the world. But there is no way that he's going head-to-head with not a deep team, but a really solid starting five. Rob Williams might come back at some point in this series, although if they win the first few and kind of look like they'll win, they might just put him on ice until round 2. But, yeah, I don't understand how they can be $2.09 on Sportsbet. To me, it should be more Celtics. I'm looking at the Grizzlies $1.31, the Warriors $1.36, the Jazz $1.33. I'm thinking the Celtics should be closer around that mark, maybe $1.40, $1.45 than $1.78. So, I don't know, you could put Grizzlies and Celtics in a multi or something like that because, yeah, I don't understand. I'm sorry. There's too many bodies they can throw at KD. Smart can just go one-on-one with Kyrie and make things incredibly difficult for him. Are we going to talk about the elephant in the room? Reports today. Ben Simmons targeting Game 4 return. Again, I don't understand. I don't understand how this bloke cannot play basketball for 12 months, can have a back injury, can have the mental health struggles. The last time we saw him play, he melted in Game 7 against Atlanta. He decided to pass the ball when he had a wide open layup / dunk. And you're telling me that after everything he's gone through in the last 12 months, that guy is going to come out in a first round playoff series and play for you? Really? I don't understand it. I don't see it, but we might. What do you think?
No chance. I'll put on a bet with Hayward. I'll give him $20 if Ben Simmons does come back. Let's say the series is split by then. You're telling me he's going to come into more pressure, and let's say Tatum's going off or something like that. He's going to then just step on the court, and with no practice or any time spent with his team, he's just going to jump in. The idea of, he could solve so many of their problems there. I was just talking about Cleveland. So the Nets gave up 60 points in the paint against Cleveland without Jared Allen there. And him is just an interior presence because I didn't like how much KD had to go in there and grab rebounds. I don't want him down there at all with bigs. And Ben Simmons could be solve some of their problems. The way Bruce Brown plays is... I'll try not to say Draymond Green, but the Draymond Green style. And I'm just thinking a guy 6'10" with better IQ doing that sort of thing. He could be incredible for them. But Ben Simmons with his fragility mentally and physically, apparently, because somehow he got a back injury from not playing, I don't buy it for a second.
Yeah. The idea of Ben Simmons as a basketball player, if he was fit and healthy and looked like Ben Simmons and had played 5 or 10 games, absolutely, this could be a 50-50 contest. No worries. I like the idea of Ben Simmons. Like, Ben Simmons is an all-star caliber player. Do we expect him to come back after 12 months in a pressurized atmosphere of the NBA playoffs and play like an all-star caliber player? No. Like, how can you have any faith in that happening? So, the only way I see him playing, because let's say it's Game 4 and the series is 2-1 or whatever. The only way I see him playing is if they're down 3-0. And it's just like, all right, now there's kind of no pressure because we're just cooked.
Yeah.
We are cooked. So that's the only way I could see him playing is, yeah, we got nothing else. We got to try something here. We're down 3-0. Might as well come have a crack kind of thing. But if it's 2-1 and the series is on the line and we've had some close games and whatnot, how? I'm sorry. I want to have faith in Ben Simmons, but it's hard to have faith in what he could. It's hard. And it's not Ben. It's anyone. Like, it's like if Jamal Murray came back and played the Warriors and hadn't played all season. I wouldn't have faith in Jamal Murray to be an all-star caliber player either. Or anyone, Michael Porter Jr. or whoever's had long-term injuries where they've been out for basically 12 months or close to it. Oh, you wouldn't have faith in anyone coming back in a pressure atmosphere like this. So it's not just Ben. I'm not having a crack at Ben. It's just the situation and position that he's in and other players have been in, which means that it's very difficult to come in and have any kind of positive impact for your team. But, yeah, so Celtics in 6 for you, Celtics in 5 for me. Going to be an interesting watch, nonetheless, that's for sure. The most